Today is April 22nd, and my winter sowing has been doing really well, but we have had some really cold nights, and I've been having to cover up a lot of these containers at night. Last night we had a frost alert, so then I did cover these containers up last night. And we may have another one coming up in a few days. But the daytime temperatures have been very warm, and I've had to also open them in many occasions. Today, though, I wanted to give you a reveal of how my winter sowing did. The majority of the ones here were winter sown in either February or March. I will also take you to the other winter sowing that I recently did in April, and those also have germinated for the majority of them. So let's start with this top row. So right here is the Summer Sangria and Black Knight Scabiosa, which was winter sown on March 8th. And those are looking very nice. I am planning on transplanting these as well as many of the ones here into my garden, probably this coming weekend or right after that, because I think the temperatures are going to start warming up from that point on. So not all the seeds germinated that I had sown in here, but I feel like I have enough for what I want to put in the garden. So next is a native for me. It's the Jacob's Ladder and the Mist Flower, which were winter sown on February 11th. And similar to last year, I do have one seedling there, but I don't think that that is the Jacob's Ladder. It might be a weed because I've had to be opening them. So yeah, I'm not thinking that that is anything because I also see like a grass seed in there. But the mist flower is looking quite beautiful. Lots of little babies in there. And I probably will be potting these up instead of putting them in the garden just so that they could get a little more growth before I put them out in the garden. So next is the blue stemmed goldenrod and the calico aster, and both have germinated beautifully. Same as last year, I had no problems winter sowing these, and I am planning on potting up some of these and then letting them grow bigger before putting them in the garden. Last year, I kind of put them in when they were very small, and they were eaten up a little bit. I do think some of them are coming back, but I do want to have these get a little more growth definitely before putting them out. Next is the foxglove that was winter sown in February, and those are packed in there. So yeah, I'll have to likely try to pull some out individually and put them in the garden, some of them, and some of them I'll probably pot up. And yeah, that's a great germination on these. So here's the straw flower, King Red and King Orange. And those are looking magnificent. Very, very good germination, nice growth, definitely ready to go out in the garden. And look at that, a giant spider in there. Woo! Okay, we let him go. Yeah, looking beautiful. So another straw flower. This is the King Rose and Vintage White. Very, very nice germination in there. The white ones are a little bit smaller, but they're still looking pretty good. And these are going to be going out in the garden very soon as well. Then this is the silver rose and purple red from seeds that I collected from my garden. And this year, these didn't do as well. My seeds last year that I had collected had done better than the seeds I purchased. But still germination, but they do need to put on some growth before these can be put out. Now these are the Shirley poppies, and I did have a little bit of a tragedy with this one. A lot of it died. It was looking so good, and I don't know what happened, but then they all just started to turn brown, and yeah, it was a bit of a disaster. I'm glad I do actually have a few left, and I'll be able to just sort of cut the chunk out of each of these and then just plant it in the garden. So at least they're not like all congested, and it'll be much easier to just divide into pieces and get these out. So these are going into the garden very soon with all the other ones. So now the verbena, and these look fantastic. Great germination as well, and putting on some nice growth in there. I think I might let these grow just a little more before I put them out in the garden. So this may not go in for a few more weeks. These are the viola. I have two Laeta ones, and clearly one is better than the other, but still good germination. And on this side, let's see, this is the wine Laeta, and this one is the antique, this is the one I really like. The antique is gorgeous. But I'm glad I have a few babies of that one, and then this one is very, very nice. These can probably get put in a pot and let them grow on, which I might do also this coming weekend or this week. So now we've got the mixed ageratum. And those are looking very, very nice. Good germination. Some of them are still coming up. And yeah, these might also stay in here just a little longer before I get these in the garden. So I've got two varieties of nasturtium in here. Look at that. A little burn here, and I think that was from a day that got very heated. Yeah, these don't like to be too much in the sun, which is why I have moved a lot of my containers to where they get shade very early in the afternoon. But otherwise, these are looking fantastic. Yeah, I really like the germination on these. Here we've got the borage and forget-me-nots. And look at that borage. It wants out. So we will have to be getting these out soon. And the forget-me-nots, they're looking very, very good germination in there. So I will probably need to put these out soon. We've got the coneflower, the mellow yellow, and the white swan. And as always, I don't have the best germination with them, but I do see some that have recently germinated. So that's really good to see. I usually don't have this good of a germination, and I'm seeing some more of the mellow yellows in there. It's just that they're going to take a little longer. Like that one's pretty far along. So yeah, I might keep this one open today because it feels a little too wet in there. Here's the yarrow love parade. Look at that. That looks really, really nice. Again, great germination. I still don't quite know where I'm going to put these, but yeah, I really like how these look. These are Bachelor Button, the Bride. The germination is not great, but I'm happy that I do have some, and these do need to get into the garden very, very soon. I don't want them to get much bigger. And then for the smaller ones, I might pot those up in the meantime. And here's a feverfew, and I did have a tragic circumstance. They were not watered, and they dried out significantly, and were just about dead. And then I watered them, and they bounced back really nice. So looks like I didn't lose much of anything in them. So very, very happy to see that. And now they are very well watered. So my Monarda was a bust. And yeah, I think this is an annual Monarda. Definitely didn't, I don't know if it's the winter sowing method. We did get a lot of rain, so that's why I'm seeing a lot of algae in a lot of these containers. This was done February 11th, so maybe this could have been done with my April winter sowing, and perhaps it would have just done better and not sat out there for so long. So, one fail. So most of these are the winter sowing that I recently did in April. And probably over half of these have germinated. So let me take you through those. So these are two different types of marigolds, and there is quite a bit of germination in there. So those are looking fantastic. And these were only winter sown on April 7th. And today is April 22nd. This is the blue grama grass. And we've got lots of little babies in there. This is the Dusty Miller. Good germination in there as well. Here I've got a calendula and a marigold. And both look fantastic. These are two different types of gomphrena. The right side seems to be better than the left side, but perhaps in time we'll get a little more germination in there. Got some more gomphrena in here. Germination seems to be okay. Hopefully more will just germinate as things get warmer. And some more gomphrena. I believe these are the Strawberry Fields and another orange one. A few have germinated, but it's not the best germination. And again, I'm hoping that as things get warmer, then we'll see some more germination. This is the sage that I winter sowed back in March, and I only have a few in here. These were old seeds, so perhaps it could have just been that they were very old, and that's why I don't have great germination. Same for the chives, not very good germination. These were also old seeds, so perhaps that was the issue with these. And here's the other chives. Then I have parsley, again, very old seeds, and I don't see any germination in there. So I'll have to try some different seeds and start some more parsley. The butterfly weed, which was sown on February 11th, also no germination in here. And yep, I gotta try again next year. I think it may have been because we just didn't have enough cold weather. Maybe I should have put them out in January. But we'll try again next year. Then the swamp milkweed, also done in February, has 2 that germinated. So I am happy to see at least that, but that's all we have here. But we'll start with those, and then maybe this fall we will redo both the butterfly milkweed and the swamp milkweed. The foxgloves in these containers did not do as well as my other container. And see, there's only like 2 little seedlings. So I'm wondering if these containers are just too small to get any kind of good germination. They're very thin as well. So I may not be doing these containers anymore. I do like the milk jugs mostly. I think those really get the best results. And then this foxglove, I have absolutely nothing. Same thing for my delphinium. I have absolutely nothing. These are old seeds. I also have a milk jug container with delphinium, and nothing germinated for the delphiniums. I did have luck a few years back, and those are still in my garden. So yeah, I'm going to keep trying with some delphiniums. The cilantro is looking fantastic. That has germinated super well, and I may need to be opening this container up very soon. I also winter sowed some dill on March, and those are looking great. I have even left this container open the entire time, and it's holding up really, really nicely. And now for the tomatoes. So this was Boxcar Willie. So I've got a good amount of germination in there. I think I put about 12 seeds, and yeah, I think I have 10 in there. So that's pretty good. This is the Amish paste. Same, I put about a dozen, and this one is not as good germination, but I'm happy with the amount that I have in there. These are the Super Sweet 100 cherry tomatoes, and I've got 6 that germinated and looking very good. This is the New Yorker tomato. That looks like some very good germination. Again, I think I put about a dozen in all of them, and that almost every single one has germinated. This is a dwarf tomato, the Cherry Falls. These are 2nd-year seeds, and I think I had about 5, and 3 have germinated, so I'm happy with that. That's pretty much all I need. And then I have the basil, and I have 2 types in here. And we've got very nice germination in there as well. So that is the reveal for my 2024 winter sowing. So this coming weekend and next week, I will be transplanting several of the flowers that I showed you earlier into the garden. I will also try to get a video out for that, but I do have a video on transplanting winter sown seedlings, and I will link that down below. So thank you for your time, and I hope that you had a successful year with your winter sowing. There's always some losses, but the majority usually do fairly well. So until next time, bye.